In the name of Almighty God, the most compassionate and the most merciful, I welcome you all, my dear friends from all over the world. By the way, today we have our sixth lecture on binomial expansion. And obviously, we will have our most precious and tricky examples in this lecture. We will start from question number 33. Show that the middle term in this expansion is this one. Now, how we can prove? What is the solution? First, one thing that you have to know that in x minus 1 divided by x raised to the power 2n, what is the middle term? I mean, if I have x minus 1 divided by x raised to the power 6, how many terms does it have? It has 7 terms. If it has 7 terms, now what is the middle term? In the first lecture of the binomial expansion, we explained that if the power is even number, so we have odd terms, and the middle term is 7 plus 1 divided by 2. I mean 7 plus 1, 7 plus 1, it's 8. 8 divided by 2, it is 4. Now, the fourth term is the middle one. Why? Because in here, we have how many terms? 7 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the fourth term is the middle. This is the middle term. If I want to say that this one is 2n, it means x minus 1 divided by x raised to the power 2 times 3. Now, how many terms does it have? It has odd terms. If this is n, if this one is 6, we have 7 terms. If this one is 8, we have 9 terms. If this one is n, it means if this one is odd, then how many terms do we have? We have 20 plus 1 term. Now, what's the middle term? 1 plus more divided by what? 2. So we can write 2n plus 1 and 1, it is 2 divided by 2. Now factor at 2 in the numerator, so we have n plus 1 divided by 2. 2 with 2 is cancelled. Now n plus 1 term, this is the middle term. So we found that this expansion x minus 1 divided by x raised to the power 2n, the middle term for this one, we can define n plus 1 term. Am I right or not? So we can say that n plus 1 term, this is the middle term. If this one is the middle term, we just know one thing in binomial expansion, and that's what? That is the general term for a binomial expansion. For a binomial expansion, we have the general term tr plus 1, it is ncr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Am I right? Yes. Now, you don't want r plus 1 term, but you want n plus 1, which is the middle term for this expansion. So I have to equate tr plus 1 equal to tn plus 1. In here, definitely r plus 1 is equal to n plus 1, and 1 with 1, it's cancelled, then r is n. I mean, in this one, you have to put instead of r, n. So, what do you find? First, I have to write here t instead of r, n plus 1. It is n, c instead of r, n. N is in here 2n. So we have to write 2n. X is x raised to the power n minus r. N is the power of the binomial expansion, which is 2n, minus r is n. Y is minus 1 divided by x. raised to the power r is n. Now Tn plus 1 is, this one means 2n by n, x to the power 2n minus n, it's n, and this n belongs to minus 1 and also x. So we can write minus 1 raised to the power n and 1 divided by x raised to the power n. If we put n, 1 to power n, it's 1, and this one is x to the power n. So we can write 1 x to the power n. This is cancelled. Now we have Tn plus 1 is equal, this is 2n by n and minus 1 raised to the power n. If we simplify this one, we will find inshallah this one. If we could found on that occasion, it means that we have proved that the middle term for this expansion is this expression. Now Tn plus 1 is equal. How you can simplify this one? It is 2n factorial divided by 2n minus n, which is n factorial, times n factorial, minus 1 raised to the power n. Now it's equal. What does it mean? It means 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 4, up to where? Up to 1, up to 3 times 2 times 1. 2n, this is a number, for example 12. Then 12 minus 1, 12 minus 2, up to 3 to 1. Am I right? Yes. Divided by, this is n factorial times n factorial and minus 1 raised to the power n. Now if we separate the terms even and odd terms, we will have 2n is odd term, 2n minus 2 is even, 2n is even term, 2n minus 2 is also even. Why? Because if we put instead of n a number, for example 3, 2 times 3 it's 6, 2 times 3 6, 6 minus 2 it is 4, then this is even, it's even, 2n minus 4 is also even, like this one, up to 4 times 2, like this one we will have. And if we separate all the terms, this is even. If we separate odd terms, we will have 2n minus 1 and 2n minus 3 dot 3 times 1. It is our nominator. Now what do we have in denominator? N factorial times n factorial and minus 1 raised to the power n. Now you know that in here we have 2 times n. In here also we have a factor of 2 times n minus 1. In here also we have a factor of 2 times n minus 2. In the next term, which is 2n minus 6, we have a factor of 2, and another term we have what? We have n minus 3. Dot. In here it is 2, it's 2 times 2, and this one is 2 times 1. This is our first bracket. The next one we have 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3 up to 1. I mean 1 times 3. Next one we have 5 up to 2n minus 1. Divided by n factorial times n factorial minus 1 raised to the power n. Now what do you think? This is 2. This is 2. This is 2. How many terms do we have in 3 terms? We have 2 to the power 3. How many 2 do we have in 3 terms? 2 to the power 3. How many terms do we have of 2 in 4 terms? We have 2 to the power 4. We have 1, 2, next 2, the next one, the next one, the next one. Then, how many 2 do we have in all these terms? We have, I think, we have 2 to the power n. So, I will write here 2 to the power n. I have to delete this one. Why? Because this 2, with this one, with this one, and with this one, we have n 2 to the power n. I think you couldn't get. Please listen to me. We have 2 here. Now 2 times 2, it is 4, or 2 to the power 2. In multiplication case, we have another 2. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, it's 8. 2 to the power 3. Now, how many 2 do we have in multiplication case in these 3 terms? We have 2 to the power 3. In 4 terms, we have 2 to the power 4. In n terms, how many terms do we have? We have n terms. So, it is 2 to the power n. Now, what is the remaining part? We have n. We have n minus 1, we have n minus 2. This 4, 1, 2 is here, so we have 2. This 2, 1, 2 is here, we have 1. Now, what do you think? n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4, up to 2, up to 1. Is this one n factorial? Yes, yes, yes. So, we can write 2 to the power n. This is n factorial. Listen, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4, up to 1. Is this one the definition of the n factorial? Yeah, so it's n factorial. Now, the remaining is, we have there 1 times 3 times 5 up to 2n minus 1 divided by n factorial times n factorial times minus 1 raised to the power n. This is cancelled. And this 2 to the power n, we can write also in this bracket. So, the remaining is 1 times 3 times 5 times dot 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 up to 2n minus 1 divided by n factorial. And we put 2 to the power n in this bracket. So, minus 2 raised to the power n. Why? This one means 2 to the power n and minus 1 raised to the power n. Now, look, this one is this one. So, we have proved by the grace of Almighty God. Write it, please. Question 34. In the expansion of x plus a raised to the power n, if the sum of odd terms is denoted by O and sum of even terms denoted by E, then prove that O square minus E square, it means odd square minus even square, is this one. Second, 4OE, 4 times of odd and even terms, is this one. How you can prove? By the way, come to the first one. First, one thing that we know is, if we talk about x plus a raised to the power n, now what is the expansion for this binomial expansion? It is n c0 x to the power n plus n c1 x to the power n minus 1 times a to the power 1, n c2 x to the power n minus 2 a square plus dot dot dot. This is our first term. This is our second terms, this is our third terms, and we have our fourth terms like this one. Now, what is the odd terms? Odd doesn't mean in here the coefficient. Just by numbering, this is our first term, then this is our odd terms. This is our second terms, this is the even term. This is odd term, the next one is even term. I mean, if we want to talk about the odd terms, it is NC0, x to the power n. The next one is NC1, no, it's not odd term, this is even term. The next one is NC2, whatever the variable is. The next one is NC0, NC2. The next one is NC1, NC0, the first odd terms. This is NC2. The next one is NC4. NC4 is our fourth term, which is even, and NC3 we have NC4. NC4 dot dot dot. This is the odd terms. NC0, I mean the first term. NC2, I mean the third term. NC, after 2 we have 3, but it is even term. Why? Because first, second, third, fourth. Fourth is NC3, which is even. The next one is NC4. NC4 is our odd term. The sum of odd terms is denoted by O. This is the summation. It should be O. Now, what do you think about even terms? Even terms is NC1. The next one is NC3. The next one is NC5 plus dot dot dot. This is denoted by E. Am I right? Odd terms is denoted by O, and even terms is denoted by E. Yes. One thing that you know is, if we talk about x minus a raised to the power n. Now, what is the expansion for this one? It is nc0 x to the power n minus nc1 x to the power n minus 1 a raised to the power 1 plus nc2 x to the power n minus 2 a to the power 2 minus nc3 x to the power n minus 3 a cube plus dot dot dot. It means the first term, this is the second term, this is our third term, this is our fourth, like this one. Now you know in here that the odd terms are nc0 plus nc2 plus nc1 nc4, like this one. But the even terms has negative sign. I mean, it is negative, but they are nc1 nc3, like this one. The even terms in this expansion has negative sign, but the odd terms has positive sign. And here both odd terms and even terms has got the what? Has got the positive sign. Now the question is that you have to prove what? O square minus E square should be this one. So we know what? I'm sorry. We know that nx plus a raised to the power n, it is consisted of odd term and even term. But nx minus a raised to the power n, it is consisted of odd term minus even term. Even terms has got minus, and odd terms has got plus. But in this one, both odd terms and even terms has got the positive sign. Now this is our first equation, this is our second equation. Can we multiply both equations? Equation 1 multiplied by 2, yes. So x plus a raised to the power n times x minus a raised to the power n, and this one odd plus even, odd minus even. So the powers are same. We have to take one of them, and the basis should be multiplied. X plus a times x minus a. In here, a plus b, a minus b. So we have o square minus even square, or e square. Now if you multiply this one, you will have x square minus a square raised to the power what? N is equal o square, I mean odd square minus even square. I think the first equation was o square minus e square should be x square minus a square raised to the power n. So it is proved. Write it. We will come on the second one. Come to the second one. 4OE is equal to this one. How we can prove? It's simple. One thing that you know, if we have a plus b square minus a minus b square, what's the answer? It is 4ab. If we have a minus b square minus a plus b square, the answer is minus 4ab. In here we have 4OE. So the brackets should be o plus e square minus o minus e square. And you know that x plus a raised to the power n, it is consisted of odd terms plus even terms, and x minus a raised to the power n, it's consisted of odd terms minus even terms. Am I right? Yes. So if you have 4OE, then 4OE, the brackets should have o and e. The first equation, I mean o plus e square minus o minus e square. This, if we simplify this one, we will have this one. Now 4OE is equal, instead of o plus e, we have this one, x plus a raised to the power n whole raised to the power 2 minus, instead of o minus e, we have x minus a raised to the power n, x minus a raised to the power 1 n, instead of o minus e, but it has 2, this is 2, so we will have 4OE is equal to this one, x plus a raised to the power n multiplied with 2, it's 2n. Am I right? Yes. Then x minus a times 2n. This is the solution for our second option. Write it, please. Question 35. Find the independent term of x in this expansion. It is 1 plus x plus 2x cubed multiplied by 3 divided by 2x square minus 1 divided by 3x whole raised to the power 9. How we can find the independent term for the x? In here, you know, in the first bracket we have a constant term which is independent of the x, but this one, the second term and the third term, they are not independent of the x. But this one is a binomial expansion. We have to expand this one, then we know that where do we have a term which is free of x. So It means the difficulty is in the second bracket, 3 by 2x squared minus 1 divided by 3x whole raised to the power 9. Now, if we have the problem in here, I mean in the second bracket, we should find 3 terms. Why and which one? We should find 3 terms. 1 constant one, next 1 divided by x term, and 1 divided by x cube terms. We should find these terms. Why these 3 terms? The constant term in here, if this one has, so this constant term multiplied with this constant term, it gives a term of 3x. Second, 1 divided by x, because the second term, if this one is multiplied by a term which has 1 divided by x, this x with this x is cancelled, so the term is independent of the x. And we have to find 1 divided by x cube. Why? Because this bracket is multiplied with this one, and the third term, which is 2x cube, if this one multiplied with a term which has 1 divided by x cube, this x cube with this x cube is cancelled, so the remaining is independent term of the x. I think you have got. Now we know just tr plus 1 general term, which is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. We have to find first the constant term for this one. In here, you know one thing, n is 9. You know x is 3 by 2x squared. You know y, which is minus 1 divided by 3x. But you don't know r. So put in this equation tr plus 1 is for the constant term. For the first case, n is 9, c r we don't know, x to the power n minus r, x is 3 by 2 x squared raised to the power n minus r, 9 minus r, multiplied by y, y is minus 1 divided by 3x raised to the power r. Now you can find a constant term here. What is the constant term? Constant term in this one is the term which doesn't have x. It means the power of the x should be 0. In here we have 1x and in here we have 1x. So we have to simplify. It is 9 by r. This one 3 by 2 raised to the power n 9 minus r, and this x square raised to the power 9 minus r, x square raised to the power 9 minus r. 2 with 9, it is 18, minus 2 times r, it is 2r. In here we have minus 1 divided by 3 raised to the power r. And this x, if we put this one in denominator, it is x to the power minus 1 times r, x to the power minus r. This x with this x is multiplied, so we will have 9 by r, 3 by 2, 9 minus r, and minus 1 divided by 3 raised to the power r. The bases are same and the powers should be added. 8 minus 2r plus minus r, we have 18 minus 2r with minus r minus 3r. Now what's the constant term? This one should be 0. So you will have 18 minus 3r should be 0. So minus 3r is minus 18, minus with minus is cancelled, and r is 6. If we put r6, we will have a constant term. So our constant term is, instead of r, you have to put 6. 9 by 6, 3 by 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. And this one, minus 1 divided by 3 raised to the power, and instead of r, you have to put what? 6. Now you can simplify this one. If you simplify this one, you will find what? Have I the solution here or not? It is 7 by 18. 7 by 18. If you simplify this one, the answer is 7 by 18. This is the constant term in expansion of 3 by 2x squared minus 1 divided by 3x raised to the power 9. Have you got? Yes. Now find 1 divided by x term. We have to find 1 divided by x term. How you can solve this question? We have this one, t r plus 1. We don't know r. 9 cr, 9 cr, x to the power n minus r. X is 3 by 2 x squared. If you simplify this one and this one, you will have this term. Am I right? Yes. So I will write this one. If you put every term in here, this is the general formula for every term in this expansion. So 9 by r, 3 by 2, 9 minus r, minus 1 divided by 3 r. This is our x. X is 18 minus 3r. This one should be 1 divided by x. I mean t x to the power minus 1 term. If this power is equated to minus 1, so this is the 1 divided by x term coefficient, and every term, complete term. So I mean x to the power 18 minus 3r should be equal to minus 1. I want to say this one, x to the power 18 minus 3r should be equal to 1 divided by x, and 1 divided by x, this one is x to the power minus 1. And you know from the equation, if the bases are same, the powers must be same. 18 minus 3r should be equal to minus 1. Where did I find this one? This is 9cr, 3 by 2 x squared minus 3x to the power r. If you simplify, this is the general formula for the 3 by 2 x squared minus 1 divided by 3x raised to the power 9. Now I think you've got. So you will have 18 minus 3r should be minus 1. Now minus 3r is, put 18 to the right side, you will have minus 19. Minus 19. This minus is cancelled. R is 19 by 3, which is not a natural number or positive integer number. If this one is not a positive integer number, it means that there is no term in the expansion of this binomial expansion which has 1 divided by x term. So this is not possible. Have you got or not? Listen to me. R and n, they should be natural number or positive integer number. But in here, r is a fraction. It shows that there is no term in this expansion which has 1 divided by x variable. Now, come to the 1 divided by x cubed term. I think you have got up to here. Now, t 1 divided by x cubed term, it means t x to the power minus 3. What does it mean? It means this power should be equated to minus 3. 18 minus 3r should be minus 3. Now you will have minus 3r. Put 18 to the right side. You will have minus 21. Minus is cancelled. R is 7. Now, is this one a natural or positive integer number? Yes. It means we have a term which has 1 divided by x cube variable. In which expansion? In this expansion. Now, what is that term? You have to put r7 in this one. The term is, which term? 1 divided by x cubed term, or t x to the power minus 3 term. It is 9. Instead of r, you have to put 7. 3 by 2. Instead of r, you have to put 7. 9 minus 7, it is 2. Am I right? Minus 1 divided by 3. Instead of r, you have to put 7. And instead of r, you have to put 7. 3 times 7, it is 21. 18 minus 21, it is x to the power minus 3, or 1 divided by x cubed. Now, if you define this term, if you simplify it, you will find what? You will find minus 1 divided by 27. This one. Minus 1 divided by 27, x to the power minus 3. So the first bracket is, we have here, the first bracket is 1 plus x plus 2x cubed. The second bracket, the constant term is 7 divided by 18. This is the constant one. Plus the 1 divided by x term is not possible. Not possible. Plus, and 1 divided by x cube term is minus 1 divided by 27, x to the power minus 3. Now, we have to find the what? The independent term of x. This is independent of the x. If we multiply this one with this constant number with this constant number, so we have 1 times 7 divided by 18 plus x to the power 1 should be multiplied to the term which has x to the power minus 1, but there is no term, so do not multiply x with any term of them. Am I right? Do not multiply x with this constant number. Why? Because if x is multiplied with this constant number, so you will have 7 divided by 18 times x, but the question is independent of the x. And the next one, x cubed should be multiplied with x minus 3, and you will find what? You will find a term which is free of the x. I mean, this 2 should be multiplied with the minus 1 divided by 27. Now, you have 7 divided by 18 plus with minus 2 divided by 27. Now, you will take the denominator for both of them, 54. Am I right? Yes. 54. Yes. 54 divided by 18, it's 3. 3 times this one, it's 21. Minus this one divided by this one, it's 2. 2 times 2, it's 4. 21 minus 4, it's 17, I think. 17 divided by 54. This is our correct answer. Write it, please. Question number 36. We have a multiple choice or objective questions. By the way, the total number of terms in the expansion of this one after simplification is. How you can simplify? Before to simplify this question, if I have a plus b square, what is the simplification for this one? It is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Am I right? Yes. If I want to write a plus b square plus a minus b square, how you can simplify? We can simplify a square plus 2ab plus b square, and this one is a square minus 2ab plus b square. You know one thing, the first term of this one and the first term of this one, they are equal. The second term are equal. The third term are equal. It means the terms for the expansion of this one and the terms for the expansion of this one, they are equal. Some of them are added and some of them are cancelled. In here, a square, it's added to a square. 2ab with this 2ab is cancelled, but b square with b square, it is added. So it is 2a square plus 2b square. The question is, how many terms do we have after simplification of this one? We have 2 terms. Now, the question is, if we have x plus a raised to the power 100 plus x minus a raised to the power 100, how many terms do we have after simplification? Some of them are cancelled, some of them are added. Then you have to what? You have to calculate that how many terms do we have. I mean, you have to count. So if I want to talk about x plus a raised to the power 100 plus x minus a raised to the power 100. Now, what do you think? How many terms does it have, the first one? The first one has got 101 terms. If the power is 100, how many terms do we have? 101. How many terms do we have in the second one? The second one is also 101. Can we say that 101 plus 101, it is 202 terms? Can we say? No. Why? Because some of these terms is cancelled with this one. So we know that x plus a raised to the power 100, it is consisted of odd terms plus even terms. This one is also consisted from odd terms with even terms, but even terms are minus. In here, look, this is our a minus b square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. This is our first term, I mean odd terms, it's plus. This is our second term, I mean even terms, it's minus. In the previous question also we solved such questions. So this is consisted of odd terms and even terms. It's also consisted of odd terms and even terms. Now, what do you think? How many odd terms do we have in here? If this one is consisted of 101 terms, it means 51 odd terms it has and 50 even terms it has. Am I right? Yes. Plus, this one is consisted of odd terms and even terms. How many odd terms does it have? Both of them 101 terms. So it has 51 odd terms and 50 even terms. Why? If I want to talk 101, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 101. Now what do you think? The first started by odd number. The last one is also started by odd number. So the odd numbers are more than the even number. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. If we have 9 terms, how many odd we have? How many even we have? Now count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 odd terms. How many even terms do we have? 1, 2, 1, 2, oh, we have 8 also in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 even terms and we have 5 odd terms. It means odd terms are more. So we can say in here, if this one has 101 terms, so it's consisted of odd terms and even terms. Odd terms are more, which is 51, and even terms are less, which is minus 50. And you know, the odd terms for the first bracket and the odd terms for the second bracket, they are same. The even terms of this one and the even terms of this one, it's same. Look here, the first odd term with the odd term is same. Even term with even term is same. Odd term with the odd term are same. So we can say that this 50 with this 50 is cancelled. And 51 plus 51, it is not 102. This 51 and this 51, they are same. So we have 51, 51 same terms, which is 51. 51 terms and 51 terms are like terms. This one. Like terms. Listen here. We have this one, this one, this one with this one. It's not 4 term. This one with this one is 1 term. B square with B square, it's another term. So how many terms do we have in here like term? We have 2, we have 2. And the summation of 2 with 2, it is again 2 like terms. I think you have got. Write it, please. Question 37. Given the integers r is greater than 1, n is greater than 2, and the coefficients of 3r term with r plus 2 term in the binomial expansion of this one are equal. Now n is 2r, n is 3r, n is 2r plus 1, or n is 2r minus 1. What do you think? What should I do? First, you have to know what the question is. The question is that the given binomial expansion is 1 plus x raised to the power 2n. Which coefficients are same? The 3r, 3r term with r plus 2 term. These coefficients of this binomial expansion are same. Now, what is the relation between n and r? N is 2r, n is 3r, n is 2r plus 1, or n is 2r minus 1. You know one thing, n 1 plus x raised to the power 2n. You know the n is 2n. You know x is 1. You know y is x. And you don't know r. And you know one formula, which is tr plus 1 is ncr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Now, according to this formula, we know tr plus 1, but we have to find t3r term. How you can find this one? You have to find t3r term. Now this one should be written like this one. So can I write this one 3r plus 1 minus 1? Yes. First I have to write minus 1, then plus 1. Why? Because this is our r, this is our r plus 1, r plus 1. Now you can put this formula. So the formula for this one is t 3r term is n. What's n? 2n. C r. What is r? 3r minus 1 times x. X is 1 raised to the power n minus r. N is 2n minus r. R is 3r minus 1. 3r minus 1 multiply y. Y is x raised to the power r. R is 3r minus 1. I think you have got. Then t 3r term is, this one is 2n by 3r minus 1. 1 to every power, it's 1. And x to the power 3r minus r. Now the coefficient of this term, what's the coefficient of 3r term? This is the coefficient. The coefficient is 2n 3r minus 1. This is our first coefficient. We have to find this coefficient and equate both of them. Now if we want to talk about tr plus 2 term, this one should be written like this one. It means we have something plus 1. So this something is what? T. Instead of r plus 2, can I write r plus 1 plus 1? Yes. Plus 1 plus 1, it's plus 2, r plus 2. This is our r plus 1. R plus 1. R plus 1 is r. Now n is 2n. C, instead of r is what? R plus 1 multiplied by x. What's your x? 1 raised to the power n minus r. What's n? 2n. What is r? R plus 1. 2n minus r plus 1 multiplied by y. Y is x raised to the power r. R is r plus 1. Now t r plus 2 term is, this one is 2n by r plus 1 multiply 1 to every power is 1 and x raised to the power r plus 1. What do you think the coefficient of this term is? This one. This is the coefficient. This is not. So the coefficient in here 2n r plus 1. Now the question is, this term with this term, the coefficients are equal. I mean this one with this one, they should be equal. 2n r plus 1 is equal to 3r minus 1. I'm sorry, 3r minus 1 is equal with this one, 2n r plus 1. Now you know this equation. If these are same, the summation of these two should be this number. I mean 3r minus 1 summation of this one with this one plus r plus 1 should be same with this one. In previous lecture we explained. Listen, I want to say 15 by 2 is equal 15 minus 2, 13. It means this summation with this summation 2, if these two combinations are same, then the summation if n and n is same, and the result of this combination with this combination is same, so the summation of 2 plus 13 should be 50. Else they are not same. If you have 15 by 2, 15 by 12, they are not same. 3 or minus 1 with this one should be 2n. Now you know r 1 plus 1 is cancelled, so you have 2n is equal 3r with r, it is 4r. Divide both sides by 2, you will find n is equal 4r divided by 2, it is 2r. Which option is correct? Number 1. Write it, please. Question 38. The two successive terms in the expansion of this one whose coefficients are in this ratio are. They are third and fourth, fourth and fifth, fifth and sixth, and sixth and seventh. What does it mean? It means if we want to talk about 1 plus x raised to the power 24, what's the expansion? It's 1 plus 24x squared plus something. If I want to talk the coefficient of the first term and the second term is in which ratio? It is in 1 divided by 24. If the third term is 48, if this one is 48, oh, this is x. If this one is 48x squared, I don't know the third term is or not, but if this one is, now the second and third term are in which ratio? It is 24, 48. Both of them are divisible by 24, so you have 1, 2. The second term and the third term are in this ratio. If this one is 36, if this one is 36, now the second term and third term are in which ratio? 24 with 36. Both of them are divisible by 12, so it is 2 divided by 3. Now like this one, now the question is if you expand this one, what are the terms whose coefficients are in this ratio? We know one thing, that if you want to expand this one, it is 24c0, 1 raised to the power 24. The next one is 24c1x. The next one is 24c2x squared, 24c3x cubed plus dot dot dot. Now if you want to talk about the first term, 24c0, second term 24c1, there is no other coefficient instead of this combination. There is no other coefficient instead of 24c3. So if the coefficients are 1 divided by 4 and the terms are successive, it means first term will be 24 CR and the next one would be CR plus 1. If we have 24 C1, the next one is 24 C1 plus 1. If these are the terms, it is 24 CR, this is 24 C, it is 1 more than this one, it means 2 plus 1. Then I don't know that which term are, but I want to denote the first term like R and the next term is R plus 1. Why? Because the terms are successive. So now you can simplify. 24 CR, 24 by R, and this one is 24 by R plus 1 equal to 1 divided by 4. Now you can simplify. This one means 24 factorial, 24 minus R, 24 minus R factorial times R factorial divided by, this is 24 factorial, 24 minus this one, 24 minus r plus 1. It means minus r minus 1 factorial times this one, r plus 1 factorial, is equal to 1 divided by 4. This is cancelled. Am I right? Now put this one in numerator. 24 minus 1 is 23 minus r factorial times r plus 1 factorial divided by, this is 24 minus r factorial times r factorial is equal to 1 divided by 4. Now expand this one up to 23 and expand this one up to r. You will have 23 minus r factorial. Am I right? Yes. This one is r plus 1 r factorial divided by, this is 24 minus r, 24 minus r minus 1. From this one you have to decrease one number. 24 minus 1 it's 23, then 23 minus r. So it is 23 minus r factorial times r factorial. This is cancelled. This is also cancelled, equal to 1 divided by 4. Now 4 times this one, I mean r plus 1 we have in numerator, and in denominator we have 24 minus r is equal to 1 divided by 4. By cross multiplication you can find the value of r. 4 times this one is 4r plus 4 and 24 minus r. Now put r to the left side, we have 5r. Put this 4 to the right side, we have 20. Divide both sides by 5, you will find r is 4. Now the first term is CR. R is what? 4. The first one is, it means fourth term. The second term is r plus 1. It means r plus 1. What's r? 4. 4 plus 1? Fifth. Then fourth term and fifth term, in this expansion the coefficients are in the ratio of 1 divided by 4. I think number 2. Write it please. Question 39. The coefficient of x to the power n in the expansion of this one and this one are in which ratio? The options are 1 divided by 2, 1 divided by 3, 3 divided by 1, and 2 divided by 1. How you can solve? By the way, if we want to talk about 1 plus x raised to the power 2n, what's the expansion for this one? It is 2n c0, 1 to the power 2n, plus 2n c1 x to the power 1, 2n c2 x to the power 2. You know this one, up to the n. If we want to talk about 1 plus x raised to the power 2n minus 1, now what is the expansion for this one? It is 2n minus 1 c0 plus 2n minus 1 c1 x to the power 1, 2n minus 1 c2 x to the power 2 plus dot dot dot. What do you think? What's the coefficient of x squared? 2n c2. What's the coefficient of x squared in here? X 2n minus 1 c2. What's the coefficient of x to the power n? It should be 2n cn. For x squared 2n c2. For x to the power 1 2n c1. For x to the power 3 2n c3. Now in here, for x squared 2n minus 1 c2. For x to the power 1 2n minus 1 c1. For x to the power 3 2n minus 1 c3. For x to the power n, it is 2n c 2n minus 1, I'm sorry, 2n minus 1 cn. Now the coefficient of x to the power n in here is 2n cn. The coefficient of x to the power n in this one with this one, what's the coefficient of x to the power n in the first expansion? 2n cn. What is the coefficient of x to the power n in the second expansion? It is 2n minus 1 cn. Now simplify. This one means 2n by n, and this one means 2n minus 1, am I right, by n. What's the solution for this one? It is 2n factorial, 2n minus n factorial times n factorial divided by, this is 2n minus 1 factorial divided by this minus this, 2n minus 1 minus n, 2n minus n, it's n minus 1 factorial times n factorial. This with this one, it's cancelled. Now this one moves to the numerator and this one comes to denominator. Now you will have what? 2n factorial times n minus 1 factorial divided by, this one comes here, it is n factorial times 2n minus 1 factorial. If you simplify this one is 2n times 2n minus 1 factorial times n minus 1 factorial divided by this one n minus 1 factorial and 2n minus 1. This with this cancel, this one with this one, and this one with this one. Now the answer is what? 2. What's the denominator? 1. So the option is this one. We can write also 2 divided by 1, or in the ratio 2 by 1. Write it please. What does it mean? It means if you expand this one, the coefficient of x to the power n here is twice of the coefficient of x to the power n in this expansion. I think you have got. Write it please. Question number 40. If the coefficients of second, third and fourth terms in this expansion are in EP, arithmetic progression, then find n. 2, 7, 2 and 7, 40. By the way, one thing I have to say, that you will never find such complete information on binomial expansion with the tricky examples and all over the YouTube channel up to now. Then please share the channel with all your friends and subscribe. Please like our videos. By the way, come. Whenever you're talking about 1 plus x raised to the power n, what is the expansion for this one and what are the coefficients? The first one is nc0 plus nc1 x to the power 1, nc2 x to the power 2, nc3 x to the power 3, and like this one. Now this is our first term, this is second, this one is third term, and this is fourth term. The question is the coefficient of second term. What's the coefficient of second term? nc1, comma, third term nc2, and fourth one nc3. They are an AP, arithmetic progression. What's the condition for the arithmetic progression? The subtraction of every terms, which terms? First and second, second and third, third and fourth. Every couple terms and consecutive, they should be equal. I mean the subtraction of this, the second minus first, nc2 minus nc1 should be equal nc3 minus nc2. Now simplify. First I have to put this minus to the right side and this minus to the left side. We will have nc2 plus nc2, and we have nc3 plus nc1. Yes. Now this one, how many terms do we have? 2. Why? They are like terms. 2 nc2 and this one nc3 plus nc1. This is the equation of the combination. You have 2, and this one means n by 2. This one means n by 3 plus n by 1. Simplify. 2, this one means n factorial, n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial is equal n factorial n minus 3 factorial plus times 3 factorial. Am I right? Yes. Plus, and this one n by 1, it's 1, it's n. N by 1, it's n. Or you can simplify. Now, to n factorial, expand this one up to n minus 2, n minus 1, n minus 2. Do you know what time is it right now? It is 12 o'clock. Not in the morning or in the afternoon, in the night time. And I really enjoy the lecture. I think you too. N minus 2. 2 factorial means 2. In here, n up to n minus 3. n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 factorial. Divided by n minus 3 factorial. And 3 factorial means 6 plus n. This is cancelled. This one is also cancelled. This 2 is cancelled. If you divide both sides by n, so it's cancelled. We have n minus 1 here. This is cancelled. We have n minus 1 times n minus 2. Multiply these two. It's n square minus 3 minus 3n plus 2. If you multiply this one, divided by what? 6 plus n divided by n, it's 1. Am I right? Yes. Yeah. Now multiply both sides by 6. You have 6n minus 1. 6n minus 6 is equal to 6 with 6 is cancelled. We have n square minus 3n plus 2 plus 1 times 6, it's 6. Now we have n square minus 3n plus 6 with this one, it's plus 8. Put this one also to the right side, minus 6n plus 6 equal to 0. You have n square minus 3 and minus 6n, it's minus 9n plus 8 and 6 is plus what? 14 is equal to 0. This is your equation. Now you can simplify this equation by every method, you know. 14, 2 with 7, 2 times 14, 2 times 7 is 14, and this one says that you have to add these coefficients. 2 plus 7, it's 9. Then it's correct. We have this one says the signs should be equal, should be like, and this one says both of them are minus. Then we have this is also minus 2, this is minus 7. Why? Minus minus, it's plus. 2 times 7, 14, and minus 2 with minus 7, it's minus 9. Now you have two brackets, and minus 2 and minus 7 equal to 0. The multiplication of two brackets are 0 whenever at least one of them should be 0. Now this one is n is 2 and this one is n is 7. Now which option is correct? Number 3. No. Which option is correct? Number 2. This is correct answer. This is not. Why? Why? Because If you put instead of n 2, you will have 1 plus x raised to the power 2. If you simplify this one, it's 1 plus 2x plus x squared. It means it has 3 terms. But the question is second term, third term with 4th term. It means at least we should have 4th term. By putting n equal to 2, in this expansion we will have 3 terms. If it has 3 terms, then this 3 terms is not correct. Why? The question is second, third and 4th term. It means at least it should have 4th term. Then it's possible by putting of n equal to 7. Write it please. By the way, it was our 6th lecture on binomial expansion. Inshallah, for the next lecture, we will have our great examples. Inshallah. Good night. Allah Hafiz.